For more analysis on this, let's bring in Alexey Muraviev, who joins us from Perth in Australia. He's an Associate Professor of National Security and Strategic Studies at Curtin University. Alexey, so this issue of the Donbass, Donald Trump's stance on territory appears to have shifted since September when he said Ukraine could take back all its territory. What do you make of these comments now suggesting that Ukraine should give up large swathes of territory?
Look, first of all, it's really difficult to read Donald Trump unless you accept the premise that his controversial and often contradictory to himself remarks are part of his bargaining strategy. It seems like every time he speaks to Vladimir Putin, he accepts Russia's narrative. Then he speaks to Volodymyr Zelensky, and it appears that he may be changing his mind, and then until he speaks to Putin again. But by and large, Donald Trump is demonstrating his resilience to be drawn into the conflict, to escalate tensions between the United States and Russia for a number of reasons. One is he doesn't look at the war in Ukraine as his war. He wants to get out. Secondly, he doesn't want to create conditions under which Russia and China will be drawn much closer, and that will happen if Trump will apply military pressure on Russia whilst applying economic pressure on China. And thirdly, he is quite pragmatic in terms of understanding that the supply of extra armaments and munitions to Ukraine, including something the United States doesn't really share a lot with even its trusted allies, like the Tomahawk missiles. This system is only operated by a number of countries, a select group of countries, rather than something that gets proliferated. And in this sense, Trump is right in stating that he needs to look into ensuring that his own stockpiles of munitions and weaponry doesn't get depleted as a result of continuous war support for Ukraine.
So how then, Alexey, are things looking now for Ukraine? Of course, Zelensky didn't manage to secure those long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles, and Trump and Putin, we know, are soon to meet again.
Look, it's a reflection of battlefield realities, and battlefield realities are not in favor of the Ukrainians. The Russians continue to hold strategic initiative. They continue to slowly grab more of Ukraine's territory, and it doesn't seem anything that may be slowing its advance. On the other hand, Europe doesn't show any resolve or resilience to support Ukraine beyond declaratory terms. You just heard a few moments ago on yet another brave statement coming from Emmanuel Macron and some other European leaders, but the warmongering rhetoric does not necessarily translate in what Ukraine really needs. So Putin understands that reality, Trump understands this reality, and as a result, Ukraine gets a talking to the way how it did when Trump effectively lectured once again Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and conditioned him to what needs to be done in terms of stopping the fighting.
Alexey Muraviev joining us there from Perth, Associate Professor of National Security and Strategic Studies at Curtin University. Thank you so much.